We have big news. We have exciting news for you. Tell them what it is, Serena.
We are super excited to announce that we are starting our first membership this January 2024.
Yay! Membership.
So we're excited to let you know that we will be hosting a monthly membership where when you join, you will be
With us live in a Zoom room once a month for a workshop like we just hosted. It's going to be a workshop like that, one topic each month, a different topic. You might even help us come up with the following month's topic from inside our membership. Super excited to meet you. It was so fun meeting a few of you in our inaugural workshop. So we're really looking forward to that.
And when you are a member, you will also be receiving a monthly newsletter where I'm going to be a little more intimate and I'll be sharing the things that are working and the things that aren't working for me.
Yeah, like taking a tool that you've learned from the podcast and how you're implementing it and how well that worked, or maybe if it didn't work. And then Amma can put in my 2 bits worth. We'll see how that goes. But a membership newsletter and a membership live Zoom room workshop starting in January 2024. Can sign up through our Patreon link in the show notes. Yeah.
Yes, everything will be in the show notes, and we can't wait to see you there, listeners.
We can't wait. Yay.
Hey, mamas, thanks for tuning into this week's episode here at the Nurturing Parent Podcast. And today we have episode number 84. This is our second listener Q&A, and we would like to thank you, Danette. Thanks so much for reaching out and sharing what you are going through. It definitely applies to my parenting journey at the moment, and I'm sure it will apply to many other moms. Danette would like to know how to create appropriate boundaries. With Danette, it's with teeth brushing. She's struggling with her 2-year-old son. He doesn't want to open his mouth when it's time to brush your teeth. And for my daughter, it's hair washing time. She never wants to wash her hair. For you, it might be getting in the car seat, getting the shoes on before you get out the door, eating breakfast. Whatever it may be, Amma will give us some great advice that we can implement into our parenting routines to help get through those daily routines and make it a little more enjoyable. And if you have a question like tonight, you can reach out to Amma on Instagram. Our Instagram is in the show notes, or you can send us an email. In the subject, just put help. Or just type out what you are going through, and we would be more than happy to help you, and you might just be featured in our next listener Q&A. So thanks for being here with us, and let's get into this week's episode.
Hey, Mama, welcome to the Nurturing Parent Podcast. Do you want to end the constant battles for bath time? Do you find yourself emotionally exhausted at the end of the day? Do you wake up with big hopes for a smooth day of fun with your little ones, only to face an early morning meltdown because you peeled their banana the wrong way?
Silly you.
Silly you.
Hey, I'm Serena. I am a mama of 2 little ones, and as a new mama, I constantly questioned myself. I wanted to make sure I was raising respectful kids while also building a strong bond with them. But I discovered that I had to unlearn my ideas that punishment was the way. With Lisa's encouragement, I've been practicing a respectful and gentle parenting approach, which is strengthening our bond as a family.
And hi, I'm Lisa. Amma means grandmother in Icelandic. I am a mama and an Amma. And I have over 40 years of experience in childcare and parent coaching. And I am so excited to share the knowledge I've gained over these years with you.
Together in this podcast, each week we will explore some easy to implement skills you can add to your parenting tool belt to help you create a happy, thriving family. Today we have our second listener Q&A.
Yay! Thank you so much for writing in, everybody.
Yes, and today we want to say thank you to Danette. It says, hi, I am new to your podcast. I've always known I have wanted to be a parent that was gentle and calm. I didn't want to be the mom who yelled at her child, But of course, your preconception of parenting quickly changes once you are actually a parent living in a toddler's world. I quickly realized,
Mm.
yeah, for sure. I quickly realized I was becoming the parent I do not want to be, which led me to your podcast. That's amazing.
I am so happy that you found our podcast for that very reason. That's why we're here.
Yes.
Exactly why we're here. Yay.
I was one of those who had the misconception of gentle parenting and confused it with permissive parenting. The episode of you
Mhm.
explaining the different parenting styles is actually the first episode I listened to. I'm on a journey to gentler parenting. And that is episode number 71 that Danette is referencing, Nurturing Parent 101, Authoritative Parenting Defined. And I love that because that's exactly why we made that episode. I was very scared of gentle parenting or attachment parenting because I didn't want to raise a wussy.
You didn't want to be a wussy parent, right?
Yeah, a wussy parent or make a wussy kid who.
Right.
So I love that, Danette. That's amazing. I thought I was gonna be the authoritarian parent, right?
Yeah. Because that's how you were raised.
Mm-hmm.
And what you've said to me is, I turned out fine.
Yep. And I wanted my kids to be tough like me, and it was my way or the highway, tough love,
Mm,
but
mm.
you know, there's a better way, thankfully. So thank you, Alma, for teaching us that way.
You're welcome. It's my honor.
All right. So right now, I think my biggest struggle is creating appropriate boundaries for specific situations in the moment. I understand that in the moment, that's the hardest because quickly it can turn into the heat of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Danette gives us an example. Today, my son did not want to brush his teeth. He kept closing his mouth when I would say open or pull away to get off the stool. This is an everyday issue. I've tried different tactics like letting him go first, then I help, or singing to make him open his mouth so I can brush. And we do accomplish brushing his teeth every day without me yelling at him to open like I used to do before. But every day he still doesn't want to brush, and I think he feels me struggling with him and knows I'm unsure of what to do.
First of all, he absolutely will be picking up on your uncertainty, right? So that's great that you're noticing that he's probably noticing because
Yes,
he is.
yes.
2-year-olds, they're on to us.
And he's waiting to see what's going to become your reaction to it.
Right, exactly.
And what I think of right away after reading this is knowing that it's an everyday issue and knowing to expect him to close his mouth every time you go to brush his teeth and just preparing yourself for that. So instead of getting pissed off because you know it's going to be another obstacle in your day, preparing yourself for that and approaching the situation lightheartedly because you're expecting it can be a little easier. So, if your son is going to close his mouth, maybe you approach brushing your teeth with a closed mouth too, and then let out a fart noise if he likes fart noises, or just go and just make him laugh and try to lighten up the mood.
Excellent. So this is the skill that we've taught a number of times we've talked about called change a mood, not a mind. Children are playful by default, right? So I love that, Serena. Come in with your mouth closed, pick up your toothbrush because I hope, parents, I hope you are brushing your teeth while your children are brushing their teeth. And if you need to help a toddler, a young toddler, yes, you do need to help them, but they can brush theirs first while you brush yours first. So if you've got this closed mouth situation, exactly like Serena just said, come in with your mouth really strongly closed and pick up your toothbrush and go, like it won't go in my mouth, and just absolutely make it playful. Make funny noises. Try to have a conversation with your mouth shut tight. And, be playful for sure. That's a beautiful first suggestion.
Playfulness really is like a toddler's language. That's their
It
language.
is
And
their superpower, and it is the direct line to their brain, and
oh
it
yeah.
is their language 100%. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So, one of the things that I'd like to point out is that I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. Every relationship we are in. So, if we have one child, I am in a relationship with my child. If you have many children, you are in a different relationship with each of those children, right? And I like to call it the relationship dance. So you've created a dance where you come into the bathroom in this situation and he resists and you try to make things work. And congratulations, Mama, on trying the things you have tried. I could really hear some, thinking outside the box, trying to make it fun, trying to, sing to get him to open his mouth. But I hear you are trying some things. Now, we as the adults, we are in the position of being able to change the dance. In this dance, he's closing his mouth tight. You need his mouth open to get those teeth brushed, and you're in a power struggle. So we're going to look at how can you, the mama, you, the parent, you, the adult, change the dance that you're in. And I'd like to reference episode number 62, how to get our littles to do what we ask of them, as a first place to go if you want more information about this changing the dance. We need to take respectful steps to change the dance. So we'll look at some of those here in the episode. We're going to talk about routines and how important they are, and how having a regular evening routine does give a child a sense of safety and security. They know what's coming next. It's consistent. It's expected, right? And if you're meeting resistance in the context of that routine, so I'm assuming it's a bedtime routine that includes brushing the teeth. So we need to look at where is that resistance coming from? So the very best thing you can do is think about this when you're not in the head-on moment of it all, the heightened emotional, he's upset, you're upset, all of that time, all of that. We need to look at it outside of the heat of the moment, right? So if your child is resistant to one aspect of the routine, like this child is resistant to the teeth brushing, your child might be resistant to getting into a bath. Your child might be resistant to getting their hair brushed or combed. Your child might be resistant to getting their pajamas on, whatever it is. If a child is resisting one aspect of the routine, you can look at, is there something that they're uncomfortable with? Are his teeth sore? Does he have very sensitive mouth? For a child who doesn't want to put pajamas on, are they a hot sleeper? So you look at the
whole picture.
the whole picture and the physical reality that's happening for our children, right? In this specific situation, Danette, I want to say that I think your child is showing a need for a bit more control in his life. The fact that he's learned as a 2-year-old, he can close his mouth, and Mama, you can't do much about it because my mouth is closed. So I've got the power, right? And you're in a power struggle. You're in that dance. So I want to look at some of the ways we can encourage our children to have some more control. I want you to know that 2-year-olds need more control in their daily life. This is why we offer them choices sometimes. This is why we let them choose. Do you want to brush your teeth before a story or after a story? It's a simple choice. It doesn't make sense in an adult brain, but in a child's 2-year-old brain, yes, I get to say when it happens, right? So one of the suggestions is you could offer to sandwich that activity that is being resisted with a pleasant activity on either side. So with teeth brushing, could you read a story first and have a lullaby after? So that or a story first and a story after, find things that your child likes that make him feel good and do those things on either side of the resistant behavior, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to use this tool that we've talked about a number of times recently that we call pre-paving. You're going to use that tool. You're going to set it up so that he knows that there's going to be these nice activities, pleasant activities on either side of the one he's not liking. But let's just go back for a minute to your child having some control.
Can I just interject something, which
absolutely,
to understand always the importance of your kid wanting to control? You said this once, and this is what made it hit for me, was that so much of their world is being done, or so much of life is being done to them.
Yes.
They're just like being dragged along by what we need to do.
They do. Thank you. That's beautiful. I love reminding parents of that point. I'm glad that made a difference in your life, Serena, with your littles. And the other reason they need control is because when they hit the 2-year-old mark, they go through a psychological development called individuation. It's the first time, believe it or not, parents, it's the first time that a child starts to understand they are a separate entity. Up until they're 2, they just are in the world like they are an extension of mama or primary caregiver, right? Individuation is, I am a separate entity. I am a human in my own right. Of course, they don't have that language, but that's what is going on in the development of their individual self, of their psyche. So they need, through natural developmental normal circumstance of growing as a human child, they need to start developing more control in their world. So not only is it a reaction or a response to the world coming at them and things being done to them. Okay, now we're going here, now we're going there, now it's time for this, now it's time for that. Even simple things like now it's lunchtime, right? Now it's nap time. Now it's after dinner. Now we do all these routines. Now it's bedtime. Like all the stuff that we just know this is how it goes.
Yeah.
But for them, the world is just coming at them, right? Yeah. And that's where the pre-paving, letting our child know what's coming next, is so, so powerful. And I think you mentioned recently in another episode, Serena, that tool has really helped you with your 2 little ones, your 2 toddlers.
Oh, yes. I use it all the time. And one way I definitely use it is when I know my little one, she loves her grandma. So anytime we're going to have a trip to grandma's, I let her know what that looks like. And when we're leaving grandma's, we pre-pave the whole situation because she gets very upset when we leave grandma's house.
Yes.
But
yes. And it helps.
Yes. That's my favorite tool when we're at grandma's house. For sure.
Nice. I love that. And I love that you said that's my favorite tool when, because we're giving you tools to put in your parenting tool belt, and you will pull different ones out at different times.
Mm-hmm.
They all work at different times. They don't all work all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's awesome. I love that you suggested that, that's your favorite time to use that one. I used pre-paving the other day when I had a childcare day with the boy that I had full time for 3.5 years. And I just got to have him for another day. I love getting to have him again because we're so deeply bonded.
Yeah.
And when he arrived, I pre-paved the whole day. In an hour, the other little boy that I look after is going to show up. And we're going to do this, and then this happens, and then it's snack time, and then we're going to do this, and then it'll be time for him to get picked up by his papa, and then you and I are going to do this and this and this. And I just, in a gentle, interesting voice, just laid out what the day was going to look like. And so, and then partway through the day, after the other little one left, I said, okay, do you remember what we're doing next? And he could remember parts of it. And he's a bit older. He's now 6, but he couldn't remember all of it. And so then I just pre-paved again what's going to happen next with the rest of our afternoon together. And then my daddy will pick me up. I'm like, actually, not quite yet. Then we're going to do this and then that. And then daddy's going to pick you up. It's so beautiful because it's so simple, and it just helps children to be
comfortable, secure, just
yes.
flourish.
Yes, calm, safe, secure, comfortable, so that they can flourish within the context of all of what's coming, right? Love it. So, if you want to learn more about individuation, I want to point out episode number 31, Terrible or Terrific Twos. It's really great episode to go to if you have, if you have a 1.5-year-old or a 2-year-old or whatever. It's a really good one to look at those 2-year-olds, which I think are absolutely terrific. And also in a recent episode, number 80, we talked about having conversations during calm times about things that need to change. So earlier I said, and Serena, you referenced also in the heat of the moment, it's the hardest time. And honestly, you are not going to be able to make changes easily in the heat of the moment. So you need to think about, how can I come at this a little differently? Oh, right. Amma said pre-paving. Serena said she loves pre-paving. Okay, that's one. So you need to think about it in the calm moments. And I also encourage you to have conversations with your little ones in the calm moments. So it's dinner time. You're having a nice dinner together, and you know that teeth brushing is coming up, getting ready for the bedtime routine. So during dinner time, or maybe even earlier in the afternoon, you're out for a walk or you're playing at a playground, and you're driving home, whichever it is, have those conversations then. Honey, I've been noticing we're having a bit of a struggle at teeth brushing time, right? Like, and what I meant to say was, with my mouth open, it's hard to brush teeth when the mouth is closed. So I really need your help. And I would love for you and I to be able to come up with a way that we, as the team we are, can make teeth brushing go smoother. So, what ideas do you have?
Making him part of the solution. I love it.
Making our children part of the solution. That empowers them. That gives them a sense of control. Now, this little guy is 2. Some of you might argue, my 2-year-old doesn't have the language to come up with ideas. Great. First of all, I want to say a little bit about language development. Children learn It's called receptive language as opposed to expressive language. Receptive language is understanding language being spoken around us. They learn receptive language skills way, way earlier than they learn expressive language skills, which is the ability to say the words, to express the words. Okay. When your 1-year-old, who's now toddling around, and you're trying to get out the door together, when you say, get your shoes so mama can help you put them on, that's got a whole lot of words in that sentence. Your 1.5-year-old might be able to say shoes. She'll be able to say mama, probably, but she won't be able to say, I'll get my shoes. Mama, can you help me put them on? But she can understand that sentence, right?
Yes, yes, she can.
Right? You've got a 1-year-old, Serena. Can she go get her shoes when you ask her to?
She can. She can pass them to her sister if I say, go give that to Sissy. And it
Yes.
amazes me because I'm like, there's no way that you can ever say these words. But when I do tell her things and when she does it, it's so amazing.
Exactly. You are the prime person to have this conversation with because you've got the 1-year-old who cannot yet have the expressive communication skills. She can't say the words, but she's got the receptive language skills.
Oh, yeah. And that's developing for sure rapidly.
1,000,000 times over, right? And there is an episode, which one is it, Serena, that talks about 1,000,000 ways why we should be talking to our children?
Yes, episode number 50.
Okay, awesome. So I wanted to give you that, everybody, because I want you to be talking to your children like they understand you. Because like Mama Serena just pointed out, she understands a whole lot more than she can say. Okay. So if you're telling your 2-year-old, I need your help to come up with a solution, do you have any ideas that might be helpful? I want to suggest leaving a big amount of quiet time right then. We don't need to fill up the space and time. Just go, we need to come up with a solution together. I would love your help. Do you have any ideas how we might get toothbrushing to be a little easier for both of us? They might speak if you give them a bit of time. They might not. If they don't, say, could I share with you some ideas I've had? I'm quite excited about some of the ideas. One of them is, how about if we, and you could wait and ask them or wait for them to say, yes, you can share, or they might give you a nod, or they might sort of look at you sideways and say, okay, here's an idea. See if you like it. How about if we do a teeth brushing sandwich? Something yummy on the outside, something yummy on the outside, and teeth brushing in the middle. You love your story time. You love it when mama sings lullabies to you. How about if we do a story, then teeth brushing, then lullabies? And we get to snuggle with the story. We get to snuggle with the lullabies. And there's just a bit of teeth brushing in between. Would that maybe help? So you can start giving them some ideas, right? If your child is older and they're resisting teeth brushing or they're resisting getting in or out of the bath, it's not just our toddlers, it's our 3-year-olds, our 4-year-olds, our 5-year-olds, our 6-year-olds, where we're going to meet some of this resistance, right? So this conversation is for all of you.
And it might help if you teach them, model for them, that they can think of ways a little easier if they just put their chin in their hand and tilt their head a little bit. Nice. And it helps them think.
I like, okay, wait, I'm going to do that again because Amma really needs to get a screenshot of you doing that.
I say this because my daughter loves putting her chin in her hand while she thinks.
Nice, nice. Yes, there are different ways of thinking. You could tap your temple. You could cross your arms. You could pace. My younger grandson paces because his dad is a pacer. His dad paces when he's on the phone. So now he's now 12, but he started it when he was really little. He'd be pacing around thinking about things. That's a really great point. I love that too. All right. What else have we got to help you, hopefully, Danette? Of course, I want to say when a child is resisting and they're upset and you feel yourself getting upset, I want to remind you that acknowledging feelings can be really helpful. I get that brushing teeth is not your favorite. Your child might say, I hate it. I don't want to brush my teeth. Wow, you really, really don't like brushing your teeth. I get that. And we're going to have to find a solution because teeth do need to be brushed. So, having acknowledged the feelings, giving them some opportunities for control in their world is really going to help. The last one I want to leave you with is an idea that I call the going to bed train. What you want to do is make, you could do it on a index card. You could just cut up some paper into however many parts of this routine there are for going to bed. So there's, if they're using a toilet, there's, sitting on the potty, there's brushing teeth, there's having a bath, there's getting into jammies, there's having a story, there's having a lullaby. Let's say there's 6. So all those 6 things. Oh, there's getting a drink of water and there's having a snack. Those, of course, have to happen before teeth brushing, or the snack does. So there might be 8 things on your list for the bedtime train. And you can lay them all out. You can, if you've got a spot where you can put them up with a magnet board or on the fridge with the magnets or something, or you could just lay them out on the coffee table or on the floor somewhere. And they get to choose what order all those things go in. The snack it has to happen before the teeth brushing. That's the only real caveat.
That's the head of the train.
That's right. That one has to happen first. And if they are toileting, then doing the pee on the potty after the water's been drunk, that's good. But so, those other 6 things, they could really just decide which order they want to do things in, and that could help them have a feeling of control. I've offered this to parents many times over the years, and a number of people have said that this was a really helpful tool to give that little one a sense of control.
Nice.
Okay. We're going to leave it at that. This was a long, meandering conversation, but we hope that all of you got lots of help from this in what to do when you meet resistance in the face of the routines that need to happen in the day, whether it's going to bed or getting out the door in the morning or sitting down for dinner time or having a nap after lunch, whatever the routines are. If you're meeting resistance, hopefully there's some gems in here and some more tools for your tool belt for your parenting journey.
Yeah. Thanks.
Anything else, Serena?
That's it. Thanks.
That's it. You got it. We love you. Take good care out there. Danette, let us know what helps. Thank you again.
I truly hope there's something in there that will help you, Danette, and your son get through teeth brushing. And to recap the tools that Amma shares with us in today's episode, we have 1, change a mood, not a mind. 2, pre-paving. 3, sandwiching. 4, acknowledging feelings. And 5, giving our kids some control. I love that Amma gives us some real-time examples of how Danette can respond to her son in these situations. So let's take a look at them.
We're having a bit of a struggle at teeth brushing time, right? Like, and what I meant to say was, with my mouth open, it's hard to brush teeth when the mouth is closed. So I really need your help. And I would love for you and I to be able to come up with a way that we, as the team we are, can make teeth brushing go smoother. So what ideas do you have?
So in that example, we see Amma coming to the situation playfully, in a light mood, energetic, kind of funny, silly, and she's changing the mood, not the mind. So it's creating a happy mood. And then you see that she's allowing the kid to be part of the solution, which it empowers them. It gives them a little more purpose, and it encourages them to want to participate and actually do what we're trying to get them to do.
I need your help to come up with a solution. Do you have any ideas that might be helpful? I want to suggest leaving a big amount of quiet time right then. We don't need to fill up the space and time. They might speak if you give them a bit of time. They might not. If they don't, say, could I share with you some ideas I've had? I'm quite excited about some of the ideas. How about if we do a teeth brushing sandwich? Something yummy on the outside, something yummy on the outside, and teeth brushing in the middle. You love your story time. You love it when mama sings lullabies to you. How about if we do a story, then teeth brushing, then lullabies? And we get to snuggle with the story. We get to snuggle with the lullabies. And there's just a bit of teeth brushing in between. Would that maybe help?
Here we see a little bit more of that, allowing our kids to be part of the solution. And then we see a nice sandwich. And the sandwich is when we put something desirable or something that they enjoy before and after to make it not seem as bad and kind of get through it a little easier. So as you can see, Amma sandwiches it with story time and lullaby time because she's the singing Amma. So those are some other tools. And let's take a look at the last example.
I get that brushing teeth is not your favorite. Your child might say, I hate it. I don't want to brush my teeth. Wow, you really, really don't like brushing your teeth. I get that. And we're going to have to find a solution because teeth do need to be brushed.
And then there we have Amma acknowledging the feelings. And sometimes we just want to feel heard and acknowledged, and it can be so powerful. So here we have Amma acknowledging feelings and setting that boundary. Teeth have to get brushed, and that's what it is. And you'll figure it out together, and we hope that these tools can help. And we wish you luck, mamas. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next week for another episode here at The Nurturing Parent. All right, mamas, thank you for joining us. And before you go, I just want to share with you 3 ways that you can show support. Number 1 is you can leave us a review on Apple. It will help other mamas that are struggling with their littles find us and listen to us and get some support and advice. Number 2 is send this episode to a friend, and we promise they will appreciate the thought. And number 3, you can become a Patreon member today for as little as $1 a month. And we wanted to say thank you so much to our current Patreon members. We truly, truly appreciate your generosity and the support that you are providing for us and our other listeners. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.